Welcome to NVL Travel Documentary. Behind the grand monuments and thriving cities, a darker reality lurks. Families living in cars, veterans forgotten on the streets, entire communities struggling to survive. This isn't just another travel documentary. This is a deep dive into the hidden truths of a divided state. At NVL Travel Documentary, we uncover the facts about countries that go beyond the tourist maps. What happens when prosperity and poverty collide? Who is left behind? And what secrets does Virginia hide? Join us as we expose the unseen struggles, the forgotten voices, and the system that failed them. Are you ready to see Virginia like never before? Number 1. Virginia's homelessness crisis, the shocking truth behind the rising numbers. Virginia, known as the Old Dominion, is a historically rich and economically diverse state on the United States East Coast, home to nearly 9 million people. While Northern Virginia thrives with high incomes and a strong technology and defense sector, cities like Richmond and rural Appalachia struggle with poverty. Despite its economic strength, Virginia faces a growing homelessness crisis driven by rising living costs and a shortage of affordable housing. Homelessness in Virginia has been on a troubling rise over recent years. In the year 2023, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, reported 5,949 individuals experiencing homelessness across the state. By the year 2024, a nationwide surge of 18% pushed this number to approximately 7,020. Projections for the year 2025 estimate that between 7,500 and 8,000 Virginians will be without stable housing, a figure comparable to the entire population of Blacksburg, Virginia. The severity of homelessness varies across Virginia's regions. In Richmond, over 1,200 individuals are without homes, with makeshift encampments emerging along the riverfront. Virginia Beach reports more than 600 homeless individuals, often concealed behind bustling tourist areas. Northern Virginia, encompassing Fairfax and Arlington counties, faces a significant challenge with over 2,000 homeless individuals, a situation exacerbated by soaring rental costs averaging $2,200 per month. In the rural stretches of Appalachia, between 750 and 800 individuals experience homelessness, though these numbers are likely underreported due to the region's isolation. Diving deeper into the demographics, certain groups are disproportionately affected. Veterans, for instance, have seen a 7.4% national increase in homelessness since the year 2022, according to HUD data. Families are increasingly pushed into homelessness due to escalating living expenses. Individuals grappling with mental health challenges or addiction issues number between 1,200 and 1,500 statewide, mirroring national trends. The chronically homeless population stood at 1,100 in the year 2023, with projections indicating a rise to between 1,300 and 1,500 by the year 2025. Children are among the most vulnerable in this crisis. In the year 2023, between 900 and 1,200 children were homeless in Virginia. By the year 2025, this number is expected to swell to between 1,500 and 2,000. Alarmingly, these children are 30% more likely to develop mental health issues. In Richmond alone, poverty affects 20% of the population, leading to 500 to 700 homeless children in the city. The primary drivers behind this escalating crisis include a lack of affordable housing, economic hardships, and insufficient support systems. Addressing homelessness in Virginia requires a comprehensive approach, focusing on affordable housing initiatives, robust support services, and targeted interventions for the most affected demographics. Number 2. Why more Virginians are becoming homeless. The root causes revealed. Virginia's escalating homelessness crisis stems from a complex interplay of factors, each exacerbating the other. Housing costs and economic pressure. In Northern Virginia, the average monthly rent soared to $2,200 in the year 2024, consuming over 50% of the median income for many residents. This surge places immense financial strain on households, making it increasingly challenging to afford basic necessities. Compounding this, a 5% inflation rate in the year 2023 further escalated living expenses, pushing more families toward financial instability. Low-income households, earning around $30,000 annually, are particularly vulnerable. A single unexpected expense can precipitate homelessness. Mental health and addiction crisis. Approximately 20 to 25% of homeless individuals nationwide grapple with mental health issues or addiction, translating to an estimated 1,500 to 2,000 people in Virginia. Despite a mental health budget of $1.2 billion in the year 2023, the allocation per resident remains insufficient to address the growing needs. The opioid crisis further compounds the problem, with 2,000 overdose deaths in Virginia in the year 2022, often leaving survivors without stable housing. Migration and housing shortage. The allure of employment opportunities in Northern Virginia has attracted many. However, only 5,000 affordable housing units were constructed in the year 2023, failing to meet the burgeoning demand. The expiration of COVID New Year eviction protections in the year 2023 further exacerbated housing insecurity, placing numerous tenants at risk. Currently, Virginia faces a shortage of at least 105,000 affordable homes, highlighting a significant gap in housing availability. Climate disasters increasing homelessness. Natural disasters have also played a role in increasing homelessness. For instance, Hurricane Helen in the year 2024 displaced over 5,000 households in Virginia. Only 20% of residents had flood insurance, leaving many unable to recover financially and thereby increasing the risk of homelessness. These interconnected factors underscore the urgency for comprehensive strategies to tackle homelessness in Virginia. Addressing housing affordability, enhancing mental health services, expanding affordable housing development, and bolstering disaster preparedness are pivotal steps toward mitigating this crisis. Number 3. How Virginia is fighting back against homelessness in 2025. Virginia is actively addressing its growing homelessness crisis through a series of targeted initiatives in the year 2025. Let's explore these efforts to understand how the state is tackling this pressing issue. Virginia Housing's Homeless Prevention Program. In the year 2024, this program assisted approximately 3,500 households, successfully preventing eviction in 60% of cases. Building on this success, the target for the year 2025 aims to support between 4,000 and 4,500 households, reflecting a commitment to expanding preventive measures Expanding shelter beds and housing units. Recognizing the need for immediate shelter, Virginia plans to add 1,500 new shelter beds by the end of the year 2025, an increase from the 800 added in the year 2024. This expansion could potentially reduce unsheltered homelessness by 10%, providing more individuals with safe and stable accommodations. Veteran housing support. In the year 2024, Virginia rehoused 450 veterans, achieving an 8% reduction in veteran homelessness. The goal for the year 2025 is to resettle between 500 and 700 veterans, underscoring the state's dedication to those who have served our country. United States Department of Housing and Urban Development budget increase. The United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, known as HUD, has proposed a budget increase, with the 2025 President's budget targeting over $10 billion for homelessness assistance programs, marking an 11% increase from the year 2023. This boost could translate to an additional $15 to $20 million in federal funds for Virginia's homelessness programs, enhancing the state's capacity to address this issue. Permanent supportive housing units. In the year 2024, Virginia built 300 new permanent supportive housing units. Projections for the year 2025 include the addition of another 350 to 400 units, which could result in a 5% reduction in unsheltered homelessness, offering long-term stability for those in need. An additional 1,000 families are set to receive assistance through housing choice vouchers in the year 2025, making affordable housing more accessible to low-income households. Safe Homes for Kids program. This initiative aims to place between 500 and 700 homeless children into temporary housing, ensuring they remain in a stable environment. By involving schools in this process, the program strives to keep children engaged in their education despite housing challenges. Medicaid expansion for mental health care. Recognizing the link between mental health and homelessness, Virginia plans to provide free therapy and medication to between 2,000 and 3,000 homeless individuals through Medicaid expansion, addressing a critical aspect of homelessness prevention and recovery. These comprehensive efforts reflect Virginia's commitment to reducing homelessness through prevention, support, and systemic change. By expanding housing options, increasing federal support, and enhancing social services, the state aims to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-recurring. Number 4. What more needs to be done? The key steps to ending homelessness. To meet the growing demand for affordable housing, Virginia aims to construct over 2,000 affordable housing units annually. In February of the year 2025, Governor Glenn Youngkin announced more than $139 million in affordable and special needs housing loans for 41 projects across the Commonwealth, which will support the creation and preservation of approximately 2,969 affordable housing units. Additionally, offering tax incentives to developers to repurpose existing structures into affordable housing can expedite this process. For instance, Oregon's model, which led to the construction of 1,500 new units in the year 2023, serves as a valuable benchmark. Establishing a $10 million rent assistance fund is crucial to provide support for individuals and families facing temporary financial hardships. This fund would offer 3 to 6 months of rental assistance, preventing evictions and subsequent homelessness. Programs like Virginia's 5,000 Families Initiative aim to provide rental relief to families with school-aged children, preventing displacement during academic years. Investing $50 million into free clinics and rehabilitation centers is essential to address the mental health and addiction challenges contributing to homelessness. This funding would facilitate the establishment of over 50 new addiction recovery centers statewide. Recent budget amendments propose an additional $8 million for community services boards to enhance prevention services, especially as previous federal funding expired. Moreover, the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, known as SAMHSA, has announced funding opportunities for the year 2025 to support substance use and mental health services. Implementing job training programs targeting over 1,000 homeless individuals annually can facilitate reintegration into the workforce. Focusing on sectors like construction, technology, and hospitality industries with high demand can provide stable employment opportunities. For example, the Central Shenandoah Planning District Commission has applied for funding to support affordable housing developments, which could create job opportunities in construction and related fields. Constructing emergency shelters capable of accommodating 500 to 1,000 individuals per storm is vital, especially given recent climate events. For instance, Hurricane Helen in the year 2024 displaced over 5,000 households in Virginia, highlighting the need for robust emergency preparedness. Establishing an independent watchdog group to monitor spending and prevent waste ensures that resources are utilized effectively. This oversight fosters transparency and builds public trust in homelessness reduction initiatives. By implementing these strategies, Virginia can make significant strides toward reducing homelessness and supporting its most vulnerable residents. Number 5. The human side of homelessness. Stories of struggle and hope. Behind every statistic on homelessness in Virginia, there is a real person with a story of struggle, resilience, and hope. Meet Lisa, a single mother from Richmond. She worked long hours as a waitress to provide for her 2 young children, but when the restaurant she worked at shut down unexpectedly, she lost her only source of income. Without enough savings to cover rent, she and her kids were forced to live in their car, trying to maintain some sense of stability while searching for shelter and a fresh start. Then there's Michael, a veteran in Virginia Beach. After serving in the military, he returned home with post-traumatic stress disorder and struggled to adjust to civilian life. Without access to proper mental health care, he turned to alcohol as a way to cope. Over time, his addiction cost him his job, his family, and eventually his home. Now he wanders the streets, one of the thousands of veterans in Virginia experiencing homelessness, caught in a cycle that feels impossible to break. These stories remind us that homelessness is not just about numbers, it's about people. It's about hardworking parents who fall on tough times. It's about veterans who gave everything for their country and now find themselves forgotten. It's about the basic human dignity that everyone deserves. While government programs are making progress, they aren't enough on their own. Real change requires action from all of us. Businesses providing job opportunities, communities supporting shelters and outreach programs, and individuals raising awareness. So here's what you can do right now. Like, comment, and subscribe to keep this conversation alive. Share this message. The more people who know, the more pressure we can put on leaders to take action. Together, we can make a difference. Number 6. A Tale of Two Virginias. Can we bridge the gap? Virginia is a state of contrasts, a place of opportunity and prosperity for many, yet a land of deep struggle for thousands who find themselves without a home. In the year 2025, homelessness in Virginia is not just a statistic, it is the result of a perfect storm of economic hardships, policy failures, and climate disasters. Rising rents, inflation, and job insecurity have pushed more families onto the streets. A lack of affordable housing and limited mental health resources have left many without options. Meanwhile, hurricanes and floods have displaced entire communities, leaving them scrambling to rebuild their lives. State and federal programs are making progress. More shelter beds, rental assistance, and job training initiatives are being introduced. But is it happening fast enough? The truth is, too many children still sleep in cars, and too many veterans are left forgotten on the streets. A Virginia where every family has a roof over their head. A Virginia where no one is forced to choose between food and rent. A Virginia where those who served this country are given the care and stability they deserve. This documentary is about more than just numbers. It is about real people, their struggles, their resilience, and the urgent need for change. If we want a better future, the time to act is now. Homelessness in Virginia is more than just a crisis. It's a call to action. From families struggling to keep a roof over their heads, to veterans left without the support they deserve, this issue touches every corner of the state. While efforts are being made to address it, the road to real, lasting change is long. At NVL Travel Documentary, we believe in shedding light on the untold stories behind the statistics. This is not just about policies or... If this story moved you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and join the conversation in the comments. What do you think is the most urgent step we need to take to end homelessness? Let's keep this discussion going and work toward a future where no one is left behind. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you for watching NVL Travel Documentary.